Hey Scuba Squad, it is Scuba Sally. I'm going to do a short little video today on all the gear that you're going to need to go on your dive. I have everything all set up here on the tailgate, so let's take a look. So here's all of our gear that we're going to need to do some local freshwater diving. Everything, I have it all set up. And then I also have a checklist. And on the checklist, it kind of goes down from a cylinder. We have a cylinder, and it continues on down the list. Hood, gloves, mask, weights, SMB and reel, dive computer, dive lights, dive camera optional. I would not recommend that right away for new divers. I think it's more important to get your buoyancy and your trim down before you add in a distraction. And dive cameras, as cool as they are to take the pictures underwater, they are a distraction. Wetsuit and dive skins, or if a dry suit, dry skins and undergarments if you are dry suit certified. Fin booties and bins. So if we go through our checklist, we got our cylinder, we have our regulator, which is all attached and then it's all clipped off neatly. Plate and wing, that is what we recommend. So a very important thing that we are going to need is going to be our exposure suits, especially when we're diving in local cold water dives. This is a Scuba Pro. It is kind of a semi-dry wetsuit. I believe it's a 7 mil. Works really, really great, keeps you warm. However, what I always recommend everybody to put on is put on some skins underneath. It doesn't have to be anything specific to diving. These are just some long johns and just a fleece-lined shirt that I would wear underneath my wetsuit. That works out really, really good. Moving on, we need the hood. We need gloves. We need our mask. We have our mask. Weights. Can't forget our weights. Dive computer. We have a dive computer. We also have a cutting device on there. We do typically have at least 1 or 2 cutting devices. I put it on my Shearwater Peregrine. Dive lights. I have a dive light here. It is actually clipped off onto my BCD. And then coming over here, we have booties to go into our fins. So this is everything that a new diver or any diver is going to need to have a great dive. If you have any questions, or would you like to have my checklist, I'd be more than happy to give it. Now that we know that we have all of our gear ready and set out for getting prepared to go into our dive, I like to pack everything in a bag. So all the wet gear is going to be in the wet bag. So we have the wetsuit, the hood, the gloves, the mask. The regulator is tucked nicely into its regulator bag. The SMB, the light, the computer, that is all in there. We can zip that up. The BCD, we can either do 1 of 2 things. We can keep it on the cylinder or we can take it off the cylinder. Since it's all set up, we'll just keep it on the cylinder. I also like to pack a dry bag of the dry clothes that I want to keep dry. Currently, the skins are in there, and when they get wet, obviously, they're going to go into the wet bag, and that is a good place to keep your dry clothes dry. And then our fins. So if we go through the checklist again, double check to see if we have everything. We have the cylinders, check. We have the regulator, check. BCD or bat plate and wing, check. Hood, gloves, mask, weights, SMB and reel, dive computer, dive lights, wetsuit and wet skins, fin booties and fins. Check, check, check. So now that we've verified that we have everything that we need for our dive, there's only one more thing to do. Let's go diving. See you at the lake.